Coach Jack, appreciate the time. We'll start with your opening thoughts on the game.
Are we ready?
Yeah. You're ready.
Okay. Obviously a tough one. We feel like we're, in a lot of ways, doing a lot of great stuff. Credit to the chaos. We thought we had a good game plan. The first quarter killed us. You lose in overtime and you score an 80-yard goal. These are the things that happen in this league, and there's nothing you can do to say why or how come or whatever. We just, we seem to be in this win two, lose two, win two, lose two kind of scenario, and I give our guys a lot of credit. A lot of teams would have quit there, being down 4. Two great plays on things that we work on, and and all of a sudden we're back in it, and we had our chance. We had our chance in overtime, and we didn't get a good enough look, and got caught in transition, and they stuck it. Proud of both of our goalies. Proud of our team, to be honest with you. They battled the whole game, and just getting down, they could have quit, or they could have gotten down in the dumps when that long one was scored at the end of the first, but they didn't. They just kept playing, and I thought we saw a revival in the offensive end today, and we just got to stick our shots, and Blaze a heck of a goalie.
Oh yeah, I think it was it's a pretty good representation of this league, and I think we put a pretty good game together compared to last game, and we took some steps in the right direction that we wanted to do as a group, and it didn't come out our way. But like Coach said, it's there's a lot of weird bounces that take place in this league, and it's a tough league to win in. And I think we just got to button a few things up, and we showed a lot of good, a couple bad things here and there, and some turnovers that were uncostly, but at the same time, we put ourselves in a position to win, and that's the best thing we can ask, and that's where we feel as the Waterdogs, when it matters, and we put ourselves in that position. That that's where we want to step up. Today we didn't step up, but at the same time, it's the regular season. We still got some life. So next time we're in that position, we're going to remember this one, and we're gonna keep moving forward.
For both of you, CJ gets his first goal tonight after a highly anticipated debut. What did either of you see the difference this week compared to last week in his first game?
Well, he was much more assertive this week. We've kind of had some, tough situations for him in the last 2 games. Last game, our offense totally broke down, and we didn't play great there. I thought the guys, the offensive players, and Coach Sheridan worked hard all week, and these guys, the older guys, have done a great job of letting CJ know that they trust him, and he's a hard cover. He took more shots today, got one, I think, and he'll get better as the weeks go on.
Yeah, I think I'd just say, obviously everyone likes to watch CJ and all the great goals that he scores, but the thing that excites me the most about CJ is the guy that he is, the teammate that he is, the energy he brings to a sideline, and again, he's a wonderful person. He's a Curse brother. Everyone knows how great the Curse brothers are, and it is true as day. And I'm just happy to be teammates with him. It's a pleasure to be teammates with him, and we're going to do everything in our power as veterans and older guys to help keep guiding CJ in the way this league works. And there's a little bit of different type of offense, and that's all right because he's got all the tools. But most importantly, he's a great person. He's a great teammate, and he fits into our locker room like a glove. And he's a guy we're just going to be here for a long time.
Sean. Questions on Zoom, Mike?
Hey, Coach, apologies if you've already been asked this, but when went behind the decision to change the goalie at halftime?
Listen, as a lot of people have asked me this week about, do I enjoy doing this thing? And the reason I know I do, and I love doing this thing, is because I lose sleep at night. And one of the things I lose sleep over is Dylan Ward and Matt DeLuca. And so I think they both proved out there today that they're Division One, they're professional goalies, and they both did a great job. And it's just when they both understand that or understood today that they were going to play 24 minutes, they each gave us a really good 24 minutes. I had no qualms about it. If it doesn't work out, then it's on me. If I just go with one guy, which all the experts in the booth tell me to do, then I'm shortchanging a great professional. So I thought today would be an opportunity for that, and I don't think either one of them let their teammates down.
Other questions on Zoom? Kyle?
Yeah, for Jack, today, obviously not the results you guys wanted, but to see all the rookies on this team really step up in a multitude of ways. Dylan Hess gets his first career goal. Jimmy Freehill hits just an absolute laser of a 2-pointer for you guys. How pivotal has it been for, those guys? And obviously CJ gets his first goal. Ben Weyer has been phenomenal for you guys on the wing, and Jake Taylor has just been doing Jake Taylor things. To see this entire draft class contributing for you guys when you've had, a roster that's been so experienced playing together, for them to just fit into the mold with you guys all season.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost is they're phenomenal lacrosse players. And again, I think fitting into the mold kind of goes along the same thing I was saying about CJ. And we're really lucky that all our rookies are great guys and great teammates, and they're selfless human beings. And when it comes to, stepping into the offense, they do their job. They bring what they bring to the table. And obviously, we all see it. Some of these, I would just almost every single one of our rookies is, one of the best rookies in this league, in my opinion. And they're world-class lacrosse players, and that's why they're out there. And I think, their personalities and who they are as teammates and selfless teammates that want to just contribute and do what they can to help us win. And, that's the way all our heads are screwed on in this team. And I think they stepped right into that position. And then obviously their skill kind of speaks for itself and the plays that they're able to make. I think they're going to be great players moving forward. So, we couldn't be more excited to have guys like that a part of this team.
Dan?
Yeah, for both of you guys, the 2-point shot has been something that's kind of been a place where the Waterdogs have struggled throughout the year, but obviously two really big ones today, one from Connor and then one from Jimmy. Has that been an emphasis to try and be better from two, or to try and find more opportunities to score 2-pointers?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, it's a unique thing in this league between the 2-pointers and the 32-second shot clock when you win a face-off can be a little bit bewildering when you've been coaching in high school and college for 50 years. But when you're the team that gives up or has given up the most 2-pointers, it allows you to forces you to work on them. And I give our polls credit. They work on it at home. They work on it in practice. They work on it in pregame. And it's a tough shot to stop. I don't care who you are out there. And so that thing's coming off of 6-foot stick at, upwards of 95, 100 miles an hour. It's a tough stop. So, it is something we talk about. It is something we work on. Defensively today, I thought Matt DeLuca and Dylan Ward saved us from a couple. And, we talk about defending it. But when you got guys like the Chaos did today, a couple of long-range guys, you've got to be aware of it, and then it opens up the middle a little bit. So it's unique. It's I guess it's good for the fans, but it certainly today turned its head for us and gave us an opportunity at the end to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach pretty much touched on everything there. That's all I got.
Mike?
Yeah, for both of you, Kier McDonald moved up to 5th all-time in goals scored and also had another great day today. I mean, just talk about the impact he continues to leave on this offense.
I mean, I can get us going on this one. I've said it and I'll say it again. I think Kieran's one of the greatest players to ever pick up a lacrosse stick. He's in the 500-point club for a reason. I think his leadership, the way he plays, just everything he does around the field is what you want out of an offensive player. And I honestly just view it as it's a pleasure to share the field with Kier McDonald. And that's where I'm at with that.
No, he's a vet, and he's been on world teams, and he's a leader of this group. He's our captain, and it's you get to that point when you're somebody like Kieran, where it's expected for you to be great every day. And you know, today he played well. He always plays well. And but probably if you talk to him about it, he'll probably hone right in on the things that didn't go well for him. And that's just the kind of guy he is. He's a really good leader. He's very introspective, cares greatly about his teammates and the team. And that's what you want out of a guy who's been playing this game for such a long time.
Kyle?
Yeah, for Coach today, Connor Kelly had the most touches he's had in a game this season with 11, and in 2 games where he's had 9 or more touches, he's recorded the most points he's had in a game. Was it by design today to kind of get Connor more touches and more opportunities, or is that something that just you kind of saw as the game flow was going on, and is that something that you could potentially pay attention to moving forward, seeing Connor as a volume kind of guy, and the more opportunities he has, the more he can produce?
I don't. Yeah, that may be all true what you say, but that's not the plan. The plan is for everybody to get a lot of touches, and I think you saw that today. You know, I couldn't tell you the stats, but probably on an average, Michael Sowers probably got less touches today than normal because it was a midi game today. You're playing against Rowlett and Newman. That's a bear to play against, and so to their credit and to these guys' credit, today was a ball movement day, and we haven't been good when we haven't moved the ball. So CK getting the ball after some movement allows him to be a more effective player than just coming out of the box and running down the alley and shooting the ball.
Zach?
Yeah, for Coach and Jack, I know you're just coming off this game. You're heading to Denver next week. Just what does it mean to return to Denver for both of you, and how important is that matchup with the Cannons next week?
Means I don't have to get on a bus or a plane. But all kidding aside, listen. Anytime you walk on Peter Barton Stadium, for me to have left Princeton, where things went pretty well for us for 22 years, and then come to Denver and just have that kind of experience with guys like Jack and Stath and all those great players that we had. It's an honor to be able to walk back on that field. It's a different group of guys, but as you know, we've got 5 or 6 pioneers on our team here, and but still, it's such a great place. It represents, it represents the capital of lacrosse in the West, and I'm proud to have another chance to go back there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach touched on a lot there, but again, it's a very special place for me. I don't really think my life would be going the way it is without the University of Denver and without, Coach T and the ability to go out there and be a part of the university. And I take a ton of pride in that. Same thing as well. Don't gotta get on a plane, which is pretty nice. But at the same time, it brings out a lot of memories, brings out a lot of emotion for me. And it was one of those things where I remember Coach T telling us, you enjoy every single time you play in Peter Barton Stadium because one day it's going to be your last. And I've been fortunate enough in the pros to be able to play in Peter Barton a few more times. So, the one time a year that I get to step on that field, I do my best to make it worth it.
Thank you both. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
We appreciate the time. We'll start with opening thoughts on the game from each of you and then take questions.
Pretty chaotic game. Happy we came out with a dub. It was good that we started off strong and getting better every week.
Yeah, this was chapter 8 of our story. We just wanted to go out and go 1-0 this week. So full team effort there, and just glad we came out with a win.
Yeah, obviously our focus, this week was just coming out and being consistent and playing 4 quarters. We're more concerned about getting super high and having this incredible burst, but also not getting low. And I think the guys did a great job of finding good energy early and building momentum and maintaining it. And maybe a little lull late in the game there when we're up 4 and a couple mistakes. But I think our history and some of the big deficits that we've been in prepared us for that. And having a moment late in the game where we now had to come back and make a play and just super proud of the guys and happy for them. I think it was a phenomenal team effort, and I think every single guy made a major contribution to the W.
Questions?
Guys, congrats on the win. Local reporter here in Salt Lake City, and I just wanted to kind of ask you guys what you thought about the environment out here, the crowd at Salt Lake City in general. If you felt the altitude ever at times, because a lot of people like to bring that up. And I'm assuming maybe I'm being a little bit presumptuous, but first time you've beaten the Dogs over there, so Salt Lake City maybe going to hold a little special place in your heart.
Spent a lot of time in Salt Lake City. PLL bubble was here, so I think I'm going on close to 40 days of spending time in Salt Lake. But yeah, as far as the altitude and stuff, I don't recognize it as much because I'm standing, but my mouth was definitely dry, and I've been a part of all 7 of the losses to the Waterdogs. So to get one in that fashion is, right on par for, who we are and what we are. So great timing for our first one.
Yeah, it was my first time in Salt Lake City, so pretty cool to play with the mountains in the background and the atmosphere here with the fans and everything. It was pretty cool. So we can get a win over the Waterdogs. So be nice to come back here. So.
Yeah, I thought that the venue, right? Everything about our experience here has been amazing. The facility and the fans, obviously the scenery and the mountains. I think it was hot, but it was dry. We're used to playing in the East where it's hot and humid, and it's a big difference. That dry air, there's a nice breeze tonight, and I think these guys would, at the end of the day, coming out here and having an opportunity to play in a venue like this and the great fan base was a lot of fun.
Questions on Zoom? Dan?
Yeah, Jackson, could you kind of just take us through that overtime game winner there, what you saw coming out of the box and what you felt like seeing that go in?
Yeah, I just was trying to run out of the box with some speed, and was lucky enough that nobody kind of picked me up, and Hiltzy was had his eyes open, so he put a pass right on the ear and just trying to put it on cage. Just fortunate that we were able to come out with a win.
Hayden?
Coach, another week with Troy Ray playing down low. What was that conversation with Coach Sweeney earlier on this season to make that change and have him playing close defense?
Yeah, it's just a personnel decision. I think it's any time that you can get more minutes from Troy Ray, the way he plays and picking up ground balls and knocking down passes and his quiet but consistent leadership. We just like the fit down there. I think he's a great compliment to Jared and obviously to Jack down there. I just think we found something that we like and we've been sticking with it. And I think Scott Smith being so flexible and being a phenomenal LSM and supporting Levi Virch, has been something that we're really happy with. And ultimately, we're not going to change too much. And we're just trying to be consistent, keep the same personnel, and keep building from game to game.
Kyle?
Yeah, for Coach, 2 experienced goalies on that Waterdogs team. When they make the goalie change going into the second half, was that a surprise to you guys from a coaching perspective? And what, if any, changes did you guys have to make when Dylan Ward comes in to start the second half when you guys may have been preparing, as the game went on in that first half for Matt DeLuca and his style of play?
We actually had talked a little bit about, previous games and the fact that Ward had played against us in previous games. And obviously, we were expecting DeLuca, but we were prepared for Ward. At the end of the day, they're both, very similar goalies, similar stylistically, similar build. And I think ultimately we tried not to get into the heads of our shooters too much, and we just talked about being consistent. We had a couple spots that we thought we could shoot on either guy, and our shooters did a great job of putting shots on goal.
Chris?
Yeah, hey Blaze, if you could walk me through that first overtime possession there, and Courier gets it down and they set it up with CJ Kirst driving on your right side. What exactly is your approach at that point against, a rookie who you haven't seen a ton of shots from as the shot clock's running out? Like, how do you kind of prepare for that moment?
Yeah, obviously, I think it was off the face-off, so it was a 32-second shot clock, so not a lot of time. He did me the favor of actually going up to his right hand. He's a two-handed player, but I'm a left-handed goalie, so, that favors my stick side a little bit. And, he did a good job getting to a good spot, but, we were draped all over him. I knew the shot clock was expiring, so a shot was coming. And, he shot around our defenseman. And, it's hard to pull it back when, a defenseman's in your chest. So, I kind of just played that far side, and, it landed in my stick. And, it was phenomenal defense to be on an island with a Twerton winner, with the year he's having. It's a lot of pressure, and we handled it well. So, we get the ball to our offense, and they score right away, and, makes our life easy.
Chris, did you have another?
Oh, yeah, I do. Jackson, you mentioned kind of kicking this off, saying this was chapter 8 of your story. And I get the significance, of course, 8 games haven't been played, but where does that mindset come from? And just kind of compartmentalizing it all in that way, that kind of, big picture outlook to it.
Yeah, we're just trying to attack every week. So, we're not trying to look in the past, and we're not trying to look too far down the road. We're trying to, look at every week and look to go 1-0. So each chapter we're trying to end it with a win, and so this was chapter 8 of our story this year, and glad that we could get to 4-4, and we look to chapter 9 and hope to do the same thing next week.
Dan?
Coach, you had Jack Rowlett unable to kind of start the game today, dealing with an illness. What was the conversation like with Jack leading into the game, and then ultimately to decide to put him on the field, and not just on the field, but with a matchup with Michael Sowers?
Look, Jack made a courageous effort today. He was not feeling well. He had not been feeling well. It kind of, came on late in the week, and then obviously through the weekend. And my conversation with Jack before we started as he was getting some treatment was, of course we'd love to have you play, but we don't want to put yourself in a position where, you're going to, have any risk to your health. And ultimately it's a lacrosse game. And as important as it might feel in the moment, all of us care more about your health than we care about you coming out. And I know that's just the type of guy he is. He wants to come out and play for his teammates. And I told him I'd support whatever decision that he made, but that, the most important thing was that he knew that we were, in support of him doing what he felt was best. If he thought he could give it a go, that we'd love to have him do that. But at the end of the day, I'm not shocked at all that he came out and played. And that was, at the end of the game, we're in the locker room, for me, that was, one of the big moments was just recognizing that toughness and that commitment to the team and putting the team first, and knowing that, we probably don't win that game without his effort. So my hat is off to him for an incredible effort for his teammates.
Hayden?
Yeah, Ike's, before this game, you were 8.7% shooting between Boston and now, but today, you're lighting the corners up. Who was giving you confidence to keep letting it fly since you got a rocket launcher of a shot?
Yeah, just everybody in the locker room, coaching staff, all the players. They trusted me, and like you brought it up, had a little bit of a slump coming into this one, and hopefully we're gonna put that in the past and look forward to the future here. But just the coaching staff and the guys in the locker room never lost faith to me. Always tell me, just keep letting it go. They're gonna fall, and having that trust, lets me go out there and keep shooting. So it's our coaches and it's the guys in the locker room.
Yeah, Jackson showed up a day late to training camp because he had graduation, and the first touch that he had in a Chaos uniform, the first time the ball was in his stick, he shot the ball low to high. So I think he set the stage for what he was here to do, and that is what he's here to do. He's here to shoot the ball, and he's going to continue to do that.
Kyle?
Yeah, Blaze, we talked earlier about how, you, Jared, Jack, you guys are kind of that calming presence down on the defensive end for for this team, but now you're starting to see Jackson, Owen, Ross Scott, Adam Charlambidi, Zawada really kind of become this young nucleus on offense for you guys. How fun is it, as a leader on this team to watch this new young core on offense for you guys kind of blossom together and start growing together as a unit?
Yeah, it's refreshing. I think there's a lot of pressure being a young guy in this league. You're focused on the team, but ultimately with 8 teams and tight rosters, there's that sense of, and I felt it when I first came to the league, that sense of if I don't perform, there's a chance that I'm not in the lineup, and, nothing's guaranteed. But I think with these guys, their maturity level, not as much from a vocal standpoint, but just their ability to connect with each other, I think, they're some of the most unselfish players. Like they're always making the one more. We had another beautiful goal today. It was like a Owen Hiltz double to a behind the back to Ross to a flip pass down low to a skip pass, and I think Ikes was the one that ended up bearing it. And that's we're the best lacrosse players in the world, but those, believe it or not, that's not everyone's first instinct when you get up to this level. A lot of people have had their own success, and those quick egoless plays really define who we are. And it's been great to hang around the young bucks and share some wisdom, and they're keeping us young.
I think the veterans, when we took over, obviously as a staff, one of the things they talked a lot about with us as we were having conversations about what we can do to support them was consistency and keeping the roster consistent from game to game, especially when we're playing well. And losing a game doesn't mean that you didn't play well. I think our offensive group is gaining confidence in themselves, and our veteran guys have been really great about supporting them, encouraging them, knowing that they can make mistakes. And I think as a staff, we've continued to keep the same guys on the field. We just had a great talk last night about we believe in you. It's your time. Don't doubt yourself, right? And have the confidence to make mistakes, but also have the confidence to make big plays. And I think the timing of that conversation and the support that they've had is it's not surprising to me. And these guys are just scratching the surface of what they're capable of as a group.
Hey, Blaze, Coach talked about it a little bit, but just what did Jack playing sick mean to the team, and what does that say about him?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have the common cold, but one thing about Jack is he's tough as nails. He clearly cares about this team and the guys around it, and he's the type of guy that handles his business. And I'm not sure he wants a lot of people to know, but he also grabbed the wrong pack, so he showed up without his lacrosse head. So not only was he battling a sickness, he also was playing with a brand new stick. He's guarding, one of the guys considered, a front runner for the MVP, and he didn't bat an eye, he didn't make an excuse. He's done that for a really long time, and at times he's labeled public enemy number 1, but he's a great guy to have on your team, and we're lucky to have nines, backstopping our defense.
Hayden?
Coach, the transition 2 ball against has been harmful the past couple of weeks. What are you going to look to kind of shore that up in Denver next week?
Yeah, we're having a lot of those conversations, during the game, especially late in the game, knowing that we're up 4. And I think, look, there's no blame, right? We've talked about it a ton. I think you're looking at some younger guys, some newer guys that are on the field that are still not as accustomed to playing in the PLL and how dangerous those 2-point shots can be, especially when you're up 4. We had a miscommunication on one and just a late pickup on the other. I think we're working through that, and we're committed to this group. And every time we make a mistake, our job is to figure out a way to fix it. We don't worry about who made the mistake. We just worry about, can we fix this mistake? What do we need to do? And, we will learn from that. Clearly it's something that we haven't learned quickly, but, we did a good job of having that conversation already and making sure that we're all on the same page, and, how quickly the game can turn on a couple of 2-pointers. And we were fortunate that our guys stuck together and made plays late in the game.
Last question, Kyle.
Yeah, Coach, I just want to get your thoughts for you and your staff. First overtime game of this PLL season, your first overtime coaching in the PLL. What was that experience like for you? What did you learn from it with how quick paced it can be? Obviously, the no timeouts, what was kind of, just the flow for your first overtime experience?
Yeah, I mean, I would rather have won by 4. Right, it would have been a lot easier to go, figure out how to manage the ball for 4 minutes, and so we put ourselves in a tough spot. But I trust my team, right? I trust my goalie. I trust my defensive guys to make stop. My offensive players are getting more confident. And I knew that if we could get ourselves a couple of possessions and a couple of stops, that we had the momentum most of the game. We gave it up late, but this team is never going to quit, right? So one thing I know about my team is that this group of guys is going to battle no matter what the score is, no matter what the situation. And I have a ton of confidence in them. And it was fun to watch them go out there and answer the bell, right? It was a tough situation, and just super proud of every single guy that was out there that made a play throughout the game and in overtime. And it was a pretty exciting one to be a part of for my first overtime game.
Thank you all. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.